Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Garage Reviews, and welcome to the video in which I answer one of the most asked questions on my social media, and that is, do I prefer used cars or new cars? And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 main reasons for why I think used cars are sometimes the better deal. Now, just a little disclaimer, I am not in any way, shape or form saying that new cars are not good or something like that. No, new cars have perks of their own, and for a lot of people, new cars is maybe the right choice. But in this video, I want to share my experience and why I think used is sometimes better. Anyways, I should also mention that we are going to be taking a lot of examples in today's video. That is why we have come to the Auto Mart, which is a used car dealership here in the industrial area of Mohali. Right now, let's move forward with the video. We'll talk about the Auto Mart later on. Alright, so let's finally start with the video now, and I'm going to be talking about 3 main reasons. Every reason has its unique value, but the first reason that I'm going to talk about, which is existent for every single car on this planet, has to do with the cost after you buy a car, be it used or be it new. And I'm not talking about maintenance cost, because you have to maintain a car. Even if you buy a used car, even if you buy a new car, you obviously have to maintain the car. So I'm not talking about maintenance cost. What I'm talking about is costs such as depreciation, insurance, and a one-time thing, that is sales tax, or as you may know, registration tax. Let's start off with depreciation. For example, you buy any car. The moment you drive that car out of the dealership, it loses about 20% of its value then and there. And then if you drive that car for a longer while, it's going to continue to depreciate. For the first few years, the depreciation graph is very steep. And then after a few years, it does simmer down a little bit. So the advantage to buy a used car would be that those initial few year depreciation steep graph, the first owner of that car has already bared those losses and you don't have to bear those. I hope what I'm trying to say is making sense. Second, if we talk about insurance cost, the initial insurances, the initial 1, 2, 3 years of a car are always going to be more costing in terms of insurance. When you buy a used car, those initial insurance costs have already been bared by the first owner of the car. And when you buy the car used, you do not have to even pay those premium insurance prices. And then last but not the least has to do with sales tax. When you buy a new car, you obviously have to get that car registered in your own state. And registration costs, according to each state, vary. So you still have to pay an extra premium because of the registration costs. But in the used car market, you get an option. Let's say, for example, you live in Chandigarh and you buy a car that has already been registered in Chandigarh. In that form, you do not need to pay the registration taxes of that car again. All you need to pay is a nominal fee, like a very nominal fee, for just getting the name on the RC changed for the car, telling you that yes, you have the ownership of the car now. So that is the first reason for why I think used cars have an advantage over new cars. Let's again take an example with a budget. Let's say you have a budget of 25 lakh rupees and you want to buy a sedan in that price. So new cars, you have options such as the Hyundai Elantra or the Honda Civic. Both of them really good cars and you cannot go wrong buying any of them. But the thing is that sometimes in the used car market, if you do your research right, you can get a better car in the used car market for an even better price. And the perfect example of such a car would be this Mercedes E250. The asking price of this car here at the Auto Mart is 21.5 lakh rupees, which means that you're essentially saving about 3 lakh rupees over the Honda Civic or the Hyundai Elantra, and you're getting an arguably better looking car with enormous amount of comfort and similar performance figures as well. Not to mention that you're also getting a Mercedes at this price point. I mean, just looking at the interior alone, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you may be thinking that the cost of the car isn't the only thing that we think about while buying a car. It's things such as the fuel economy and the maintenance of the car as well.
And I would say that that is absolutely right. You do think about other things such as maintenance cost and fuel economy of the car as well. But that actually comes down to your personal preference. What car do you prefer in the used car market? You have enormous amount of examples in the used car market. For example, if we talk about the Honda Civic and this Mercedes E250, which has a diesel engine, both of them have similar fuel economies. Obviously, if you were to go with some other kind of cars, for example, BMW Z4, yes, you can get some old examples of BMW Z4s in that price range as well. But that's actually a sports-oriented car, and the fuel economy of that car would obviously be more expensive than this car. So it comes down to personal preference. Which car are you preferring? In case of this Mercedes E250 and the Honda Civic, both of them have similar fuel economies, and so those nullify each other. And in terms of maintenance cost, yes, I do agree that the maintenance cost of this Mercedes E250 would be higher than the Honda Civic. But if you really think about it, if you have a budget of 25 lakh rupees to spend on a car, a yearly maintenance cost increase of 4 to 5,000 rupees isn't going to be that expensive. But even still, things such as the cost of parts and stuff, they matter. And it is given that companies such as Mercedes, BMWs and Audis have expensive parts compared to other companies such as Hyundai or Honda. Well, in that case, if this bugs you, we have reason number 3. And so my last and final reason would be to buy the same car that you would if it were new, but in the used car market. For example, you wanted to buy, let's say, an Innova Krista. Again, you would have to spend like around 25 lakh rupees, 20 to 25 lakh rupees if you were buying that car new. But in the used car market, you can get that car for around 16.5 lakh rupees, which is an example here at the Auto Mart. And all that money that you saved for not buying a new car, that money can be used anywhere you would like. And that problem that we had in the second reason, that was maintenance cost, service cost and all that stuff, all of that has been remedied because essentially you are buying the same car. Obviously, the maintenance cost for the same car would be same. The fuel economy for the same car would be the same fuel economy. The parts cost for the same car would be the same, even if it was a used car or a new car. And the biggest advantage for me especially being a car guy, I love modifying my own cars. So all that money that I just saved for buying a used car rather than buying a new car, I can use that money to modify my car however I want. That is amazing. That, in my personal opinion, has to be one of the biggest compelling reasons for why I personally choose used car over new cars.
And for those of you who have stayed this long in this video, a bonus reason for you guys. And that is modifications that have already been done to the car, you get them essentially for free. For example, if you look at this Innova Krista, let's unlock this car and have a look inside. This Innova Krista has been modified into a complete business class. As you can see, we have the most luxurious seats that I've seen in any Innova Krista with a fully blown rear entertainment system and whatnot. So if you were buying a new car, you would be buying a standard Innova Krista. But in this car, you get some modifications that have already been done. And maybe you didn't even know about these modifications beforehand. You came into the used car market to look for an Innova Krista, and then you find out that yes, an Innova Krista like this also exists. And maybe your mind changes to buy this car instead.
Also, I'd like to take a moment to thank the Auto Mart today for lending me a lot of their time for making videos on their car and helping me make a video on this topic. They have an amazing inventory of many used cars, as you can see over here. In the showroom itself, they have a lot of luxury cars with them, and that's their main selling point. So if you have any queries regarding any kind of used cars or any you are interested to buy a used car, you can contact them using the links in the description below. And not just this, you can get a lot of other facilities from here as well. They get the car insurance done for you. If you want your car detailed or any kind of work on your car that you want to get done, you can contact them in that case as well. And if you buy a car from them, they give you a complete package deal. Not only do they provide very good prices on the cars, but also They get everything done for you, like transfer ship to any state in India, they get that done for you. If you want financing facilities from them, that can also be provided by the Auto Mart. And with that finally said, this was all for the video. Those were my 4 main reasons for why I think used cars actually provide for a really good deal in buying a car. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Tell me in the comments down below. Again, not saying that used cars are the only way to go. New cars have perks of their own. New cars are good for a certain scenario and a lot of people may prefer them, and that's completely fine. In this video, I just shared my experiences for why I think used cars are better. So that's all for this video. If you like it, please give us a thumbs up, share this video as much as you can, and a subscribe to this channel would be amazing because it gives me motivation to create more such content just for you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.